All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's snowing like crazy out there. But it ain't too cold out. I just ran out to throw my garbage out. Uh, it ain't too cold out there. All right, so what else is going on in Indiana? Well, I guess they're trying to force people uh, to work that are on disability or whatever, or SSI. You know, I don't know what's gone with these Nazis. I think they're calling them out here instead of using the real word, what they are. But Ventura just talked about that the other day on TV uh, when that person got shot out there in Minnesota. But he was just talking about these tactics, and these are the tactics that they're using. Now, I told that little lady, "Don't cry." This is all bull crap. 9 out of 10 times, it's somebody that is faking paperwork and sending it out. Uh, and that's what they did back in 1940. I'm glad Ventura went ahead and mentioned that because these people were so good at fraudulent documentation, uh, and that's what is probably going on here. Is these people are printing off fake uh, food stamp or whatever it is, SNAP benefits. Now, for someone like me, I'd tell them shove it up their ass. You give me $20 a month. That's it. You can shove it up your ass. You ain't forcing me to do nothing. Uh, that's what I would do. I probably would even go as far as targeting that whole area of the SNAP benefit plate or whatever. But like I said, uh, Ventura said it best yesterday. Why don't you guys just go back to 1935 or 40 when we were at war with Germany? Because that's pretty much what this country's become. So, yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. They're making these people. I mean, if I went to back to work, I'd end up killing somebody. I can't take it now. I would end up hurting somebody real bad. Because I'm pins and needles as it is right now. I'll work for myself. I ain't gonna work and make anybody, uh, a bunch of money uh, as I'm suffering. No, it ain't working that way no more. I'm really sorry, Indiana. And plus they got so many lawsuits coming at them in Indiana for fraudulent doctors. Uh, over 30,000 people were infected down in Indianapolis at the hospitals during operations. They tried to cover that up. Fort Wayne Hospital, these people are doing very bad things, and we're catching them. And they're also catching these police that were involved in covering up, right? Uh, so it don't look good for Indiana. I would hunker down. And we got troops coming. And Indiana's going to have to open their pocketbooks and pay these people for the torture that we went through. You know, uh, hell, you can't. I guess there's a lawsuit at the doctor's office out here in this little town because they were doing bad stuff, right? Contaminated uh, blood and stuff like that was. They were putting people in rooms with this stuff, and then people started getting sick. They also tried to cover that up, telling people, "Oh no, it ain't contagious," and then everyone got sick. So there's a lot going to be happening in Indiana, full scale probably demolition and numerous things. But I do want to thank the great Jesse Ventura for mentioning that because that's what we're seeing is these people back in the 30s and 40s when they came here to this country, they were professional document creators. They would create fraudulent documents and it would look just like real paperwork. So that's what we're dealing with in our neck of the woods here. Plus, I think the housing development, uh, they're looking for them because a whole bunch of people were abused and killed in Indiana, South Bend, Elkhart, anywhere pretty much, even here in LaGrange, uh, Angola, anywhere that management company supposedly where people were dying. So hit team, I don't know, it might have been a hit team or something they had working at this. We know this much: the CEO of Landmark is on the run, so they must be telling the truth about that. No, I don't think. I told that little lady, I told that little old lady down the hall when she wanted me to look at the paperwork. Yeah, call them, verify that it's real, then tell them they're breaking the laws, and you'll get a lawyer or someone will. All right, it is snowing like crazy. We're also attacking these people for stealing my life and millions of other people's lives. You know, they tried to switch lives with us or whatever. This witchery, Odin, magical fairy land or whatever. Just keep doing what we're doing in America. Uh, just keep doing what you're doing. We refuse to stand down to Nazi dice rollers. Uh, they come in all colors: black, white, green, yellow. And I feel sorry for these people. There's no way that woman could work. She's got a disability. We all do. I mean, there's no way. You can't force people to do anything. But what the people can force is this state to shut down. Uh, and that's pretty much what we're working on is shutting down. The Delphi case, everything's corrupt. The evidence is there, and they're all upset because they got hit with biological warfare down there. Well, that's the price you boys paid, ain't it? That's the price you paid. Some of you don't look too good. I would go to the hospitals, but they probably are telling you they can't help you there because they don't want the contamination again within the hospital. It's over with, folks. It is completely over with. Uh, they can't work. How you gonna? I ain't never met a colder country. Well, there was one, and that was Germany because they didn't care about none. But America is the next Germany. I think Ventura is probably right. And we got to do what we got to do to survive. I blame 'em. It's snowing like a mofo out there again. Hold on a minute. I got a message. Yeah, I woke up way too early. A man has been arrested after attempting to board. Oh, wow. All right. I just got a message sent to me. A man attempted, or a man has been arrested after attempting to board a flight with his dead wife in a wheelchair. Oh, she was dead. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of sick stuff going on in America, folks. A lot of crazy stuff going on in America. And I feel sorry for some of these people. Some of these government people got it coming. Some of these police have it coming. A lot of these people have it coming, but you're going to see more dead people being carried around. You're going to see dead people in bags and duffel bags being carried around. You're going to see a lot more of this in America, folks, until they, do their jobs and fix it. Man, just crazy, ain't it? Ah, yeah, that. Uh, yeah, we pretty much sent a signal to that uh, housing development or whatever they are, equal housing opportunity. Um, yeah, they're all. "Oh, I'm sick of." Yeah, that's right. You're sick. Your family's sick, not mine. Right? Quit trying to switch shit up, and well, you're as old as cottonwood. It's time for you to leave this earth, old man. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're dealing with out here. All right, let's get some. Well, it's pretty chilly out. All right, now I can tell you this much: it is windy out there. It's snowing again. Now, last night I went to the grocery store, and there was three agent new vehicles in town here pulled over at someone's house right up the street here. So I was like, get out of their way. And I stopped there. I'm like, hey, I got some dudes down here that are wanted. They're white honkies, and their eyes lit up. Honkies? Yeah, they're honkies. Uh, and they're wanted, and this is where you should be looking. And they're like, thank you, Mr. Kramer. I'm like, hey, here's my YouTube channel. I am the president here soon. 2028, possibly if they don't kill me by then. Uh, but there are new vehicles in town, folks. They're all blacked out. You've seen them. When they're doing their job, stay out of their way. They're also looking for a couple police officers down here. Yeah, we're trying to tell you folks, we're not settling for nothing but the best in this town and in this country, and the best for every single one of us. Every single one of us will be created equal. If one's wealth, we're all wealth. If we're all poor, we're all poor. All right, hold on a minute, folks. Now it's coffee time. Now we can, hey, send that memo to Trump that these people were using sickness as weapons. But he already knew that. He already knew they were weaponizing AIDS and everything like that. So send a message out there to the White House that we are going to be operating in the United States of America within Indiana and surrounding areas. I don't think we'll get any trouble from Mr. Trump. I think he knows exactly what we're talking about. This all would have went away for $52 million that they were supposed to pay to me for restitution and pain. But I learned like a military, uh, like a black ops guy, like a that you have to overcome the pain and the madness to get done, to get through, and that's what millions of us did in this country. Is we suffered, but we took that pain and we put it aside and we continued our mission. We got snow and wind out there, Debbie, again. Good morning, little Deb. I sent you a cup of coffee. Good morning. What's going on? Oh, nothing. This Indiana pulling their Nazi stuff again, trying to force all these idiots and sick people and old people to work for $20 a month for food stamps. I call them and tell them, yeah, call them and tell them to eat shit and die. They can keep it. Yeah, can't. Can I ever wake up to peace? There'll be peace when you people are all gone. Just like that song that was written by Kansas. There'll be peace when you are gone. And that's what they're saying, probably. No, Debbie. They're trying to force people to work. There ain't no way these people can work. You want to put people's lives in danger? That's what's wrong with this country. They can work. You're going to put him in charge of of deadly machinery, and he's an idiot. Well, that's why you got so much problems in America. Nobody will hire them. Yeah, it's stupid bull crap, Debbie. I agree with these people trying to make people work. You couldn't pay me enough to work. There ain't no way I'm making billions of dollars again for these idiots. There ain't no way. And Trump knows that. I ain't building shit. Not one plane, not one day for America anymore until they pay me my money. Yeah, he wants people to do stuff that are in walkers, wheelchairs. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. It's over with. The whole Social Security thing and disability, and that was put in place for people after they came home from the wars. The government figured out, well, we just can't let these people die, and they created all this stuff to have something when you retire, or if your brains went scrambled and you ended up being an idiot from all the chemicals or madness you've seen in the United States, that you would have something to live on and feed the people. But yeah, they stole all that. So Trump said he wasn't medically fit to go to Vietnam. I don't know. Hey, when I was 17, the doctor was a P from my concussion when I was younger. But I still went to the recruiting board and filled out all my paperwork just in case. And it was cool because some guys were like, I don't think you're going to be able to be in it, but we respect you for at least signing. You know, I'm like, just give me a weapon and point me in a direction, and kill them all. The old military saying, and they were like, "This young kid, 17, his brain is like a piece of mush, but God, he's got the military in his soul and heart." And I did, because my family was military. So it was there that I went ahead and started my training in Black Ops, but only for my family. And that's what a lot of American people don't realize. We're in the military. No, I wasn't, but I've done some of the best missions for the government in this country. Yo, RC. Yeah, I think everybody had bone spurs back in Vietnam. Boy, we got more snow, Debbie. I told you this stuff was going to get worse. No, you didn't. You said everything would be fine. I kept telling you it was going to get worse. Get the flock out of here, is what Debbie said. They want old people, volunteer walkers, wheelchairs. Well, if that's the thing, you can keep your $20 in SNAP benefits. These motherfuckers think that I'm getting hundreds of dollars. I get sick. When I first started, I got $16. They gave me a raise. I get $23 now in SNAP. You can go shove it up your ass, and you best prepare for war, Indiana. Nazis is what they're calling them now up there. I'm like, no, what? Nazis? You mean Nazis? Well, we can't say that. They're Nazi. Well, do whatever with them. Someone get a hold of Ben Shore and let them know we're going full deep into this. Roll cameras. Keep the cameras. I'll go to work, but I'll go to work for a film company. I'll tell you what, I ain't making this state or these businesses any money. They're slave drivers out here. These people will do anything they say. I was just in the grocery store the other day, and I was hearing an argument between. They were like, "I'll do anything. What do we got to do?" Yeah, that's just it. These people are breaking laws for these businesses for a stinking $200 a week paycheck. They're breaking the laws. I don't know. I don't know. But we got cameras going. We got people writing the scripts as we go. Miss ATS News, Debbie just sent me something about some wheelchair people that were dead, and they were transporting them on airplanes, Debbie. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that real quick, Debbie. Yeah, she was dead, and he rolled her through the airport and right onto the airplane. We're gonna take a look at this. We're gonna take a look at this right now. This is the kind of world we live in. I don't think Trump and the government realizes how crazy America citizens can get when it comes to stuff like this. There it is. Man attempts to. Hold on, let me read it for you. Well, this guy had to get back home, and he was arrested after they found out that the woman in the wheelchair was deceased. And he was trying to board a plane with her. And there it is right there, local news. Uh, and that's his right in America. That is his right to wheel his dead wife through the airport onto an airplane to get back home. That is his American right. Constitution, asked Jesse Ventura. Exactly. That's what I thought. Debbie says, wait. She put a little lady. She said, wait. And then put a hand up, like, wait a minute, halt. What? Yeah, it's right there. Miss ATS News sent it to me. Some guy tried to board an airplane with his dead wife in a wheelchair, and that is his right. That's his right. That is his right. As sure as it's my right to declare war in the United States of America. And that's what they're all about. You can't. I just did. Bring it. Keep the cameras rolling. Let me see what Debbie's saying. It's not his right for the other passengers. Well, them other passengers will have to use masks, but it's his right to get to board onto a plane with his dead wife in a wheelchair to get her back home. That's his constitutional right. No effing way. Yes way. Yes way, Ben way. Miss Fox does not agree with that. She says, what about the other passengers? Well, they would have to put oxygen mask on so they don't get contaminated. But that is the American right. That's his right to do what he wants with his family member. That is his right. They didn't ask to ride with a dead person. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. But that's his right as an American citizen to do. Everyone else is complaining to me, but that's the right. All right. It's your rights to do that in America. And this is going to come down to rights, right? It's our constitutional right. I mean, look at the stuff you people are doing is madman stuff right out of movies. You don't have the right to do that. But they all told me they got the right. It's their constitutional right. Well, there you go. They got the right now. Well, I imagine we're going to have a lot of dead people everywhere. Family members keeping their dead people. I watched a guy last night that said he was going to stuff his husband or wife. When she dies, he's going to have her stuffed and he could take her with him everywhere he goes and they could still have kid night. You know, they could still have dinners together with the kids and everything. Yeah, he was serious too. She was laughing her butt off, but he's like, I'm serious. I'm gonna have you stuffed and I'm gonna be able to have you my whole life. And that's what we're looking at. Now I also did watch another video last night on YouTube of a gang member that was shot and they had his body stuffed. And his body is in the house with his family and they hang out with him every day. That is a true story. Look it up on YouTube. Yes, they had him stuffed. That's right. He is in the living room with them all the time. Look it up on YouTube. Debbie gang member shot. Family stuffs the gang member like taxidermy. They had him propped up right in the house. Debbie says this is bull crap. I think it is too that they're trying to bust my nuts for $20 I get out of stamps. If you don't go to work, I ain't working for you, mother, ever, ever again, ever. The way you treat your workers, the way you used me for billions of dollars in this corporation, I ain't ever working for you pricks again. And I designed it that way. And when I left with a madness that was within your businesses and corporations. And I ain't never leaving again. I ain't never working again for you. Not making billions of dollars for you idiots as I'm eating bologna sandwiches out of garbage cans. You can F off. That's what I got to say to you in your world. All right, Miss Fox. Now that we're done with that, all the people are going crazy around here. How am I gonna work? I only got 3 arms and 1 leg. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But we ain't gonna be standing for this too much longer in this country. I can tell you that. There's no way after we killed the Nazi, and rebuilt their country and saved their people that you're going to do it in America. There ain't no way. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Believe me, if the government wants me, they will come right to my door and Trump will come right here and talk to me. So they've done it before. The government has done it before. They know how I am. They know. We are not standing down to this. They know they owe me money. They know the things I said were true. They know that this country was contaminated deliberately by these idiots. They know a lot that I know. Right? So believe me, they can come here with their authority police, and within 5 minutes there'll be agents there and telling the cops, what are you idiots doing? Yeah, get to stepping. And if they want, then the agents will open up on them. And we'll have a hoo ha out here. That's what we're pushing for, ain't we, Mister Ventura? It's exactly what we're pushing for out here. We've had enough of these people that have had sat behind authority for so long and got away with murders, rapes, and numerous things in this country. You know, we ain't going for it. We're bringing up Grady Judd out of Florida up here, which we might have him run for president. I'm not joking. Right? We might have him run for president. We're leaning towards that attitude, or you ain't going to screw the American citizens. And that's what he's saying down in Florida. He's telling his citizens, open fire on them. Right? They come a knocking at your door, just start blowing them right outside. And that's what we're going for out here. We're done with this authority shit. They need to cut welfare to pay for Israel's to have free health care. Yeah, yeah. Boy, let me tell you something. They got something coming because what a lot of people don't realize is that noise that they're hearing from space, only certain people know what it is. And this Earth is in deep crap. That's why they brought them all back from the space station. They know what's going to happen up there. They know what's going on, what's going to happen here. Yeah, yesterday they brought them all home from the space station. There ain't nobody up there now. RC, I don't know if you heard about that. Oh, good morning, RC. I don't know if you heard about that, RC, but there's a signal that's being picked up from deep outer space. And from what I told the scientists is it's going to go boom. That's what that noise is. Yeah. The great planet that created everything made that same noise when it went boom. Yeah. So they're all, it can't be. I'm like, it is. And that sure is what's going to happen. And now they're all like, shit, get them off of the space station. Now, we had to use that they were sick, because, because they were working on superbugs in space. You know, and something happened and they got sick. So bring them home to the Earth. Send you what story, Dub? I am not allowed to call him dead, call his wife dead stinky. Right? Debbie, that is your right. That is your right, young lady, to say his wife is kind of stinky. Send you the story? All right, sweet pea. I'll send you the story. Hold on a minute there. Why is my chat disappearing? Your chat is not disappearing, little lady. I can see you in chat. You got a secret mod. I don't know. I might. I'll have to check. Not unless you remember that one woman, Bella? Like she disappeared for over a year. We couldn't find her. We were worried. We thought people tried to kill her or something like that, or the Shellinator got to her. Maybe she's sitting back watching. Is she still a mod? I'm not sure, but she's probably timing everybody, laughing her little butt off. It could be ATS News. She likes to play games like that. Sometimes I type things, they disappear. No. Do you have your glasses on, little lady? Do you have your glasses on? I see what you're saying. Everything you said, I see in chat. Who is doing that? I don't know. We'll figure it out because I only have so many mods, Debbie. And behind the scenes, I'll let you know what mods they are. But I can see you perfectly fine in chat right now, Debbie. Don't worry. We'll figure out everything. We will figure out everything right down to the thong that they're wearing. I heard about the space station. Yeah, yeah, RC. They took everybody off of their RC, and I do believe and they took them right off after there was reports that we're picking up a signal from space that ain't good, and they called me now for, and they played it for me, and I was like, "Ooh, that's not good." They're like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, you remember the Big Bang, right? You remember the thing that created this whole thing, right?" Yeah, well, that's what is happening again. See, planets give off a sound, and that's because their core is spinning inside. And that molten lava and steel inside of this Earth spins and it sends off a sound, which we hear all the time. People are like, "What is that noise we're hearing?" That's the Earth telling you, put your head between your legs and kiss your ass goodbye. And now they're all coming here knocking on my door. We need you to work. I ain't working for you people unless you pay me my $52 million. Let's see what Debbie is saying. I can't speak my mind. I thought Trump brought back freedom of speech. It is freedom of speech, Debbie. That's what Trump said yesterday. These people, you can't say that. And Trump, I said, I talked to Trump. I said, can you go on there and tell these people what really we are fighting for in America? He's like, well, it's freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want in this country. right? And he did that, and we're ready. We're ready. You know, we're ready. It's freedom of speech. You're right, Debbie. No one will time. If anyone times you out, I'll time you. All right, let me send that over to Miss Debbie so she can read that. You know, I want her to read this because this little lady is such a great little lady. It's just unbelievable. All right, Debbie, I sent it over to you. You should be getting it right now. If my data collector shows right, it boom, you just got it. They are taking away my comments. Not here, they're not. Boy, what another fine mess the Democrats and Republicans have gotten us into from what the great Mr. Jesse Ventura is saying. I love Ventura. Did you hear it? I love Will. Where Will? What's that guy's name that does the imitation of Ventura? I was in Laos, 73. How come I'm old enough to go ahead and kill for the government over in Laos and rice paddies knee deep up into my giant penis? And then I can't have a bear when I come back to the States and everything. This great state of Minnesota is going to go. I love it. It's fun. I love music. That's funny stuff. Well, they're taking away your comments because they weren't your comments because you were stealing their comments because you tried to steal this country from them, they're saying. I was like, no. They're like, yes. I'm like, no. They're like, yes. I'm like, no. So maybe that's why I'm not sure. Debbie says, I told you that yesterday. No, you didn't. You told me what? So do mushrooms have also give off sound? Mushrooms? No, not mushrooms. What? My okay? Okay. Yeah, I sent you over the message. Now, folks, we also have a problem because our magnetic field is shifting on Earth. I know they're not going to tell you that, but see, I was sent from the great, great creator to let you folks know. We got a problem. This has never been recorded before in the history of man. So, what we're having is a polar flip going on right now. Till then, our weather is going to be mixed up. People are going to be going crazy because it's a magnetic force. Do you understand that? Our brains are our energy. So this magnetic force will suck our smartness right out of us. And we'll be sitting here pretty soon for a little while going, but it'll all get back and we'll get our brains back. Debbie Fox says mushrooms give off sound. Well, I got a mushroom that I wanted you to check out that gives off sound, uh, but you said no. You didn't want to see my mushroom. You didn't want to see my mushroom. Hold on a minute. I'm busy. All right, hold on. All right, Miss Fox, I'm looking at the video that you just sent me. Now, do you know what that guy is using to get that sound? Do you know what that machine is that that guy is using to get that sound? I could tell you exactly what that machine is. That's a synchronizer. It's a synth machine. There you go. I sent you a mushroom making sound. I know that. I know that, but the he is only getting that sound because he's using that synchronizer machine and synth machine. That's what that is. It's just a synthesizer. So what it's doing is it's picking up the energy that is within the mushrooms and it's turning it into sound. So which every living organism is energy. There you go, Miss Fox said. I seen it, Miss Fox. Hold on. You want me to show it? Well, there you go, folks. What did he do? Well, he took a an electrical wire and he poked it into the mushroom, which the mushroom is all moist and wet, which what conducts electricity from the earth, actually. And what does it do? Well, that sends out a signal, and what he does is he sends that signal into a synchron a synth machine, and he's getting these noises from it. Now, it's a modulator also, which makes sound. Do you listen to some of these music, these songs, and you hear and that's a synthesizer, a modulator synth, and that's what they do. See, RC knows what I'm talking about. He just says it's a modulator synthesizer. Yeah, yeah. This is yeah, same thing. There ain't much left for me to explain on this. Hold on, I'm getting more intel as it comes in. Hold on. Now these mushrooms now might be sent from another world. Now that mushroom right there is playing this small synthesizer piano keyboard. Now these mushrooms are very intelligent. If you can listen, I think he is playing Bach third. Yeah, that's Bach. Yeah, that mushroom is very smart. It's very talented, and I think that is like the third division of the Bach tune. So now what is going on? That mushroom head is actually controlling stuff. And it's the energy that is coming through the mushroom and through them electrical NORADs that are on the mushroom head, them send signals down to the motors there, them little servers, they're servos. Uh, and what it's doing is playing the drums. Right? Yo, Kelp, what's going on? We're watching mushrooms, but now listen to that beat. That's like a third octave down from a fourth. And what a drummer. I mean, that guy might be able to play for Rush. I'm not sure. It could be the next. I heard Zeppelin's going up to where we might want to get this mushroom head drum. Listen to that. You hear that? That is a Zeppelin song, I do believe. Bam, 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 out. Bam, out, bam, out, bam, down, down, bam, bam, out. Bam, out, bam, bam, singing to the ocean, into the ocean, raw now. You got to play for me, play it all night long, baby. You got to good baby. Oh.
It's January. New habits, new routines, new slogans. But here at Shep.
There's so many things the government don't know about. Well, it seems that our society has become smarter with technology and science than our government scientists. It's just unbelievable. I don't know what to say. Can anyone hear me out there? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Kelt, yeah, Debbie wanted to show her mushroom. So I'm like, let me see your mushroom, Debbie. And she showed it to me. I'm like, that's cool. You want to see my mushroom? She never wants to see my mushroom, but what the heck? Who cares? It's no biggie. Mushrooms play Def Leppard with On Kept. Yeah. Oh, sure. Sure. Def Leppard. Great band. Great band. We might have this guy back him up if anything happens to Rick. But this is unbelievable. And so much talent within these mushrooms all around us. It's just unbelievable. Kelt, you know what? Debbie Fox is saying, Kelt, you know what? You will come into on the Johnny show. Yeah, you never know what you'll come into on the Johnny show. We got mushrooms playing music. We got RC. He's talking about he heard the signal from deep space and everything like that. And if you have this technology or these microphones, these diaphragm microphones that we have, uh, and we're pumping it through massive amounts of wattage, we can hear, uh, we can hear the moon sometimes. It's unreal. Ah, moon farts, exactly, Kel. We were trying to tell the scientists all this stuff, and they said we were crazy. And then, last week they start calling, they start coming here. We need you to listen to this tape. I ain't doing nothing for you idiots anymore. We told you this was going to happen. You never listened because you got that degree that said you went to college for 15 years to become an idiot. I'm not listening to shit on a stick from you people. Well, I mean, AC/DC wrote songs about me, right? I was a power pack back in my day. Uh, I would explode and people would love it. But this day is no longer them days. It's the older days. I'm in my 50s and, I made this country quadrillions of dollars already. And you're not paying me one more dollar. I'm not doing nothing for you. I'm retired. I'm an idiot. I have scientists and doctors that you people made me go to that said, yeah, he's a disabled idiot. We're shocked he made it this long. Yeah, I'm retiring. You hear me? Don't come a knocking unless you got a bunt load of cash to give me before you even ask me to work for you. I ain't doing nothing. For one, I'm on my off season. I got a couple months here where I can sit down on this couch and not do nothing before spring comes, and then I gotta go rake leaves and cut grass again. I refuse to do anything for you idiots, and I want all the paperwork and document. Well, you know what? We're audited. We're gonna audit Indiana and the United States. We got 80,000 IRS agents out there. Start auditing the United States. Yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna find out what kind of shady characters really are going on in this country. Get a hold of Mister Ventura up there in Minnesota. Let him know we're coming to help him. You stay put, Mister Ventura. We're gonna come in with Apaches. We're gonna zip line you out of there. Which I wanted Garth Brooks to be zip lined in when he did that Super Bowl thing. I'm like, let's zip line you in upside down, holding your guitar onto the stage. And he's like, Mr. Kramer, you really think that we could do that? I'm like, we could do anything. Ah, we're the Mother Dream butt kicking machine. I'll zip line you in on Apache helicopters. But they all are like, man, insurance reasons and everything. It's just too dangerous, Mr. Kramer. I'm like, all right. It's just too dangerous. We'll just settle for him singing on stage, I guess. I don't know. Shady don't turn in shady unless shady is time to be sacrificed or shady lost a power play. I don't know who Shady is, but if he's the same guy that Eminem was talking about, uh, he's cool. I know him. He's cool. He can hang out with us. I can tell you this much: he was the real Slim Shady. Yeah, put your seatbelt on, Debbie. It's going to be a really bumpy ride. Of course, you still haven't shown documentation that you're allowed to ride my bodacious uh, bull. So Eminem is the real Slim Shady. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they were just imitating me. I know Marshall up in, I know they wanted me to be the Slim Shady, but I was like, I'm just too old. I'm in my 50s. You don't want to see me in a tank top anymore. No, I could tell you this much. I'm very upset at Miss Fox because she's been looking at all these men's mushrooms that they've been sending her. Look at my magical mushroom, Debbie. Look at this giant mushroom. Look at this mushroom. But, when I want to show my mushroom, She don't want, no, I don't want to see her mushroom. Well, I got a magical mushroom myself, Mrs. Fox. But she's more interested in other people's mushrooms, and I don't blame her because just a mushroom head is all they call me, mushroom head. You were the original lineup of D12. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, yeah. Now we want our citizens to hunker down, stay inside. Now I know a lot of you seen the black vehicles driving around in town last night, and their lights going and everything. Them guys are here to protect me, and we're looking for some bad guys and people that stole a lot of money from me, did a lot of bad stuff in this town and the town over. Angola, they're asking me to come out to Angola. They got a bunch of problems out there. I'm like, well, if you ain't going to shoot first and ask questions later, I can't help you. I can't help you. I wanted in paper, written, that I am not held for anything, any responsibilities. And if you go by this code, shoot first, ask questions later, then I can help you folks out there in Angola. But till then, I can't. In surrounding areas, Hudson and places like that. Not until you sign the waiver that me and my agents are not responsible for anything or anyone we pick up. But they just wouldn't do that, so we're out of there. So my other agents are they're all over this great state. We're going to make Indiana great again, I think. Well, maybe. I'm not sure. Let me see what Kelt's saying. Debbie says, magical mushrooms on a magic carpet ride. Exactly. Now, I'm going to tell you this much. That mushroom that was playing the drums on that keyboard has more brains than some of the people that we are dealing with. All right. What do we? I think we've done enough. I think we have said and done enough today. Don't you? Don't you folks think that too? We have done our parts as American citizens and YouTube creators and created some of the most radicalist stuff ever in the world, ever seen on camera. And that's just what we do. And we do it for nothing. Well, at least I do. I don't get paid for anything on YouTube. So we're doing it just to do it, to show this world how crazy and good we are. It's just unbelievable. All glory goes to God. Lord, thanks for another day. Now, there is some new documentation that is being ran on Facebook that us men are not ejaculating enough, which is causing testicle cancer and cancer in the body, which, I told people if you ain't yanking the baloney once in a while, all that stuff sits inside of you and just, well, gets old and then gets yucky and then you got problems. But now the scientists and the doctors are saying you should at least yank it twice a week. Now, I don't know if that's true or something like that, twice a month or something they were saying. I have no idea. But of course, we have to go by what our doctors say because then they can withhold, they could, well, you didn't masturbate or jerk the baloney for two times a month. So we can't cover you on your health plan. That's what we always get in this country is we just didn't do what we had to do. And now they're going to come up with, well, you weren't jerking your baloney twice a month. So that's why you're not feeling good. And we can't cover anything because you didn't do what we told you to do. So it's just one thing after another in this country. And we've had enough of it if you haven't gotten the picture yet. Is there anything anyone wants to say about that? Which I was shocked. The good Lord said we're not supposed to yank the baloney, but here we are, doctors and scientists saying, "Oh no, you gotta, because you're gonna get sick. It could cause problems." Yeah, it's where the scientists have become smarter than, and the doctors have become smarter than what we thought. It's just crazy, if you ask me. I really don't have anything more to say. RC, do you have anything to say, Miss Kel, Debbie Fox? I didn't think so. She's too busy looking at all these men's mushrooms, magical mushrooms and everything, beating on drums with their mushrooms. I could play. My mushroom can play the drums. But, I'm not going to talk about that right now because this is a respectable channel. Stay cracking. I don't do crack. I'm really sorry. I don't do crack. Some doctors are saying you should have smoked some crack, but I didn't listen to the doctors, so they just can't cover it. They can't cover everything. It's just horrible health plan. Now, if I would have smoked crack and I would have yanked my baloney 2 times a month, then they said I would have been in the clear. They would have been able to cover everything. Miss Fox says she is eating peanut butter and peach preserves. Mm. I just had some peanut butter last night, Debbie. Some Jiffies, I think it is, or Skippies, whatever, honey roasted peanut butter. I had that last night. Uh, I had a small hamburger bun. I bought a bunch of hamburger buns for hamburgers, but I took one of them soft buns and I put peanut butter on it, and jelly, and had me a small peanut butter jelly hamburger. It's unbelievable. Now, I have had peanut butter and jelly hamburgers before with peanut butter on it and jelly. It was great. It was great. Tasted great. Well, there's nothing I could do. I'm a hostage in a state. I'm a hostage in the United States, and they're so upset. Why didn't you just do this? But because you owe me money. I had to sell everything I had and worked hard for with this disability my whole life. My land, my two rate, to be on your stupid program. And now everyone's going, boy, you're an idiot. You sold everything. Yeah. Well, it was either that or break the laws and put everything into somebody else's name like a mobster. And, but who was the idiot? Me, I guess. I guess I was the idiot. So they're going, well, who's smart? Not me, I can tell you that much. You don't want me working for you. Yep. Comes to find out it was some kind of a real estate scam or something, or some bank or something. Who knows? I don't know. But who cares, right? Who cares? I don't care because I'm making the best of what I got, which is nothing. and you're still pissed because I'm whooping your asses in the polls. Now, once I do get in there, it is going to be about the working man and the sick and the old and America first. And everyone else, well, you signed a contract. Well, them contracts are void and null. And we're going to rip them all up. And I'm going to be like, you send one more penny to anybody without my okay, you're going to be in some deep shit because America is going to be rebuilt. And, I made a pact when I was sworn in 10 years ago, 15 years ago, through the TV. People are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, they swore me in right over through the TV. I was sworn in right through the TV. They're like, are you kidding? No. See, and that's another thing you folks don't know is our technology is so greater than yours. I was sworn in right through the TV. Does anyone want to say anything? Let's listen. Listen. Just as I thought, a bunch of wind you've been blowing us. Boy, I'll tell you what right now, the southern states must really suck because it's windy up here. Oh my God, he didn't. He just did. He just said that. Oh my God, unbelievable. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes another episode of Johnny Kramer's music, movie channel, movie, music channel. God bless you all. We're solving cases all over the world. We're bringing justice back to where justice has left. It ripped us off, I don't know how many times and split. We're bringing back clearance because they said if you want to do this stuff, Mr. Kramer, you're going to have clearance. So I went and got clearance, who was in another country, and I brought him back here and I shoved him right in the face of everybody. Here's my clearance. And they were like, holy crap, he found clearance. That's right, I found him. I brought him back. He's here. I got all the clearance I need to do whatever I need to do. And they were all shocked and flabbergasted, if you ask me. But anyways, let's see what Debbie's saying. Extravaganism. No, I don't want to undo it. No one's vaginism. A woman's vaginism should be cherished by a man, but they're not because the vaginisms have gone bad. So I don't know what to say. And that's our problem in this country is we don't have enough vaginism. It's unbelievable. Now, is there anything else you folks want to say? I'm going to end this video. I got some chores to do around here. It's snowing out as we speak right now. Oh, wait, I think it did stop snowing, but we got more snow on the way. We got wind. It's chilly. Anyone want to say anything? The great RC, Debbie Fox, I am Celt. Is there anything you folks want to say before we end this video? No, nothing. All right, I would appreciate it if you folks stay out of our way. Uh, you know, and I suggest you not open fire on my agents that are in town here looking for people. So I would suggest that also. And I would suggest some of these businesses in town that weren't on the up and up also mind your business and stay out of our way. And you won't have no problems from me. I can tell you that much. Now, you folks have a great day. God bless. That's what you get for screwing the American people, the citizens, the children, and even the animals in this crazy state of Indiana. And that's what you get. I got warrants on all the police departments. We're going to start picking them boys up because it comes to see that they belong to a little racket. Ain't that something? But we're going to tear apart each car looking for them drugs. We're going to tear apart each fire department, ETMS vehicle looking for them drugs that we know. Well, they found down in Texas. They're all over America. We're on it. God bless everybody. If no one's got anything to say, have a great day. All glory goes to God. Amen. Heal us all. Take all these madmen out of our country, Lord. And God bless. We might be in a couple of your houses, Lord. I see you made a special list for us to go into your house and pull out some of these people. I agree with you 100%, Lord. We're on your side. We are on God's side. Amen. Now, you folks have a great day. God bless. I will be back with more content on the Johnny Kramer Music Movie channel. Extravaganza. You folks have a great day. And if you still listen to the wind, you can hear little Johnny sing. That's right, Bad Company sang it best. Johnny was a schoolboy, and he heard his boss' favorite song. Love me do, baby, gonna give it to you. Oh, now it's not home. That's right, listen to the wind.